Today we're going to be taking a look at 10 more awesome gaming facts you probably didn't know. First up is E.T. for the Atari. Regarded as one of the worst games in history, it still outsold Space Invaders by 500,000 copies. It turns out we've actually been able to stream and download games to consoles for 30 years. It started with Atari's Game Line and expanded into Intellivision's Play Cable. These services would let you download games to the console through your telephone connection or via television signals. This next one is just to clear up a popular misconception. The Atari 2600 wasn't the first home video game console. Instead, it was the Magnavox Odyssey, beating the 2600 into our homes by 3 years. The first game to ever kill someone was Atari's Berserk. An 18-year-old boy made the top 10 list of international players twice in 15 minutes, before dying of a heart attack a few seconds later. The Xbox started out as the Direct Xbox because of its use of DirectX software to power the hardware. People hated the name though, so Microsoft came up with hundreds more names that made the console sound like a boy band member, including Max, Mind, Face, Myth, IO, TAC, Lex, and MPAC, before finally settling on Xbox. Set by Takahashi Meijing, a former executive for Hudson Soft, the record for the most button pushes in 1 second is actually 16. Final Fantasy VII was originally planned for the N64. This test footage shows the capabilities of the system. But when they discovered it needed 16 cartridges, they chose to move to PlayStation. A wise decision. At the height of its popularity, Dragon Quest titles were banned from being released during the week in Japan. This stems from the release of Dragon Quest III in 1988, where a decrease in national productivity was actually marked. Over 300 children were arrested for truancy, and a spate of muggings for the game were reported. Atari Football was finished in 1973, but the developers, wanting to make a game more realistic, decided to add a scrolling screen to the game. It took them 5 years to work out how to scroll, and the game was finally released in 1978. And finally, way back in the day, Nintendo used to make playing cards. On a visit to a card factory in 1966, the head of the company found a novel mechanical arm that the factory's maintenance man had made to keep himself entertained. The head was so impressed with the toy that he immediately promoted the worker to the R&D department. The maintenance man was Gunpei Yokoi. He would go on to change gaming forever with the creation of the Game Boy some 20 years later. Let us know if there's anything that we missed in the comments, and check out whatculture.com for more gaming content. And always be sure to subscribe.